Today we're zooming in on Palantir Technologies, ticker PLTR, a company that's been a roller coaster for retail investors and a lightning rod for discussion across the investing world. Palantir's stock is always a hot topic, and there's a lot to unpack with the latest developments. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's break down what's going on with Palantir right now, covering the stock price, major news, retail sentiment, short interest, options activity, and analyst moves. No fluff, just the facts, delivered straight to you, the retail investor who's riding this wave with hope and grit. Let's get started. Welcome to Stock Hub, your go-to place for the latest stock market news, analysis, and insights. Don't forget subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Let's dive in. First up, let's talk about the stock price. As of the latest market close, when I am creating this video, Palantir stock is trading at approximately $127.50 per share. In the last 24 hours, the stock has seen some movement, climbing about 1.4% in pre-market trading following a significant announcement. This uptick comes after a volatile week where Palantir has been testing key technical levels, with some traders eyeing a potential breakout. The stock briefly dipped toward the $120-$125 range earlier this week, but it's now pushing back toward recent highs. For those of you watching the charts, this price action is critical, as Palantir is hovering near a pivotal zone that could dictate its next big move. More on that later when we dive into retail sentiment and technicals, but for now, know that the stock is showing resilience despite broader market noise. Now let's get to the big news driving the conversation today. Palantir just secured a massive $795 million contract modification from the U.S. Department of Defense for its Maven smart system, an AI-powered platform used for data fusion and target identification. This is a game-changer, folks. The contract not only bolsters Palantir's already strong foothold in the government sector, but also signals robust revenue visibility for future quarters. Posts on X are buzzing about this deal, with one user noting that it could push Palantir's valuation expectations higher, with some even floating mid to long-term price targets in the $170 to $180 range. This contract reinforces Palantir's dominance in government AI applications, a space where they've been a leader for years. For retail investors, this is the kind of news that fuels optimism. It's tangible proof of Palantir's ability to secure high-value, long-term contracts that drive growth. Beyond the DoD contract, there's chatter about Palantir's commercial segment continuing to gain traction. The company's AI platform, AIP, has been a focal point for investors as it's expanding into more industries, from healthcare to logistics. While no specific commercial deals were announced in the last 24 hours, the ripple effect of the DoD contract is amplifying confidence in Palantir's dual revenue streams, government and commercial. Keep an eye on any upcoming earnings calls or CEO Alex Karp's statements, as he's known for dropping bold insights that can move the stock. For now, this contract is the headline, and it's got the market's attention. Let's shift gears to retail sentiment, because you, the retail investor, are the heartbeat of Palantir's story. Scouring platforms like Reddit and X, the vibe is overwhelmingly bullish, though not without some caution. On Reddit, particularly in investing in stock-focused subreddits, Palantir remains a darling. Users are hyped about the DoD contract, with threads calling it a massive win and speculating about more government deals in the pipeline. Some Redditors are pointing to Palantir's long-term potential in AI, with one user saying, quote, "PLTR is the backbone of government AI. This isn't just a stock, it's a bet on the future." That said, there's a vocal minority urging caution, citing the stock's high valuation and potential for volatility if broader market sentiment sours. The fear of a pullback is real, especially after Palantir's meteoric 340% run in 2024, which outpaced the S&P 500 by a mile. On X, the sentiment echoes this mix of excitement and vigilance. One post from the last 24 hours highlighted Palantir's attempt to break out above the 125.41 cent level, a previous double-top zone that's now acting as potential support. Another user pointed out technical indicators like a bearish RSI divergence and a MACD dead cross, suggesting short-term headwinds for bulls. But the overwhelming tone is one of confidence, with traders noting strong momentum and high options activity signaling sustained interest. The DoD contract announcement has only poured fuel on this fire, with retail investors seeing it as validation of Palantir's growth story. You're not alone in your passion for PLTR. Thousands of retail traders are riding this wave with you, cheering every milestone and sweating every dip. Now, let's dive into short interest and options activity, because this is where things get spicy. The latest short interest data shows that about 5.5% of Palantir's float is currently shorted. That's not an astronomical number, but it's enough to keep short sellers in the game, especially given Palantir's high valuation. Short interest has been relatively stable, but any positive catalyst, like today's DoD contract news, could spark a short squeeze if the stock breaks out above key resistance levels. For those of you holding long positions, this is something to watch, as shorts may be forced to cover if Palantir keeps climbing. As for options activity, there's been notable action in the last 24 hours. Posts on X highlight elevated option scores, with a user noting a score of 4, indicating strong bullish sentiment in the options market. Call options, particularly those with strike prices around $130 and $135, have seen heavy volume, suggesting traders are betting on Palantir, pushing higher in the near term. This aligns with the technical setup, where bulls are hoping to flip the $125 zone into support for the next leg up. However, there's also some chatter about put activity, indicating that not everyone is convinced the stock will rocket immediately. Unusual options activity isn't screaming gamma squeeze just yet, but the volume is enough to keep traders on edge. For retail investors, this options buzz is a reminder that Palantir remains a battleground stock. Bulls and bears are both in the ring. What about analysts and institutional investors? While we don't have specific analyst updates from the last 24 hours, the broader context is worth noting. Earlier this month, a veteran analyst who called Palantir's 600% rally updated their price target, reflecting continued optimism about the company's AI-driven growth. Goldman Sachs also revisited their target recently, though Palantir's 27% pullback from its February peak has tempered some enthusiasm. Analysts are generally split. Some see Palantir as a premium growth stock with unmatched potential in AI, while others caution about its lofty price-to-earnings ratio, which sits north of 100. Institutional ownership remains high, with over 40% of the float held by big players like Vanguard and BlackRock. Their steady presence is a vote of confidence, but it also means any coordinated moves by institutions could sway the stock significantly. For now, the DoD contract is likely keeping analysts' eyes glued to Palantir, and we may see updated price targets soon. Let's zoom out and tie this all together. Palantir is at a fascinating juncture. The stock's hovering around 127.50 SEP, 1.4% in pre-market, on the back of a massive $795 million DoD contract that's got everyone talking. Retail sentiment on Reddit and X is electric, with bulls dominating the conversation, but a few voices urging caution. Short interest is moderate but could fuel a squeeze if the stock breaks out, and options activity shows traders are betting big on the upside. Analysts and institutions are still in Palantir's corner, though valuation concerns linger. For you, the retail investor, this is a moment to stay sharp. Palantir's story is about big bets on AI and government contracts, but it's also about navigating volatility and market swings. The DoD news is a reminder of why you're invested. Palantir's ability to secure high-value deals is unmatched, and their AI platform is only gaining steam. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a calm perspective. Palantir's journey isn't a straight line. There will be dips, spikes, and moments that test your resolve, but the fundamentals, government contracts, commercial growth, and a leading edge in AI give you plenty to hold on to. Thanks for watching Stock Hub. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. See you in the next one.